Have you ever wondered how vacationing habits have evolved over the generations? Travel, as we know it today, has come a long way. It's fascinating to see how our vacationing habits have changed over time, shaped by generational shifts in lifestyle, values, and technological advancements. As we journey through time, we'll be exploring 3 generations that have significantly influenced these changes: Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z. Generation X, those born between the mid-60s and late 70s, grew up in an era where travel was seen as a luxury. Vacationing was typically limited to annual family trips, often to familiar destinations. However, as this generation matured, they began to value experiences over material possessions, paving the way for a new perspective on travel. Then came the Millennials, born between the early 80s and mid-90s. This generation saw the dawn of the digital age, and with it, the world became more accessible. Travel was no longer an unreachable luxury, it became an attainable goal. With a thirst for adventure and a knack for technology, millennials revolutionized the way we travel, making it more experiential and immersive. Lastly, we have Generation Z, the digital natives born from the mid-90s to the early 2000s. With technology at their fingertips, this generation is reinventing travel once again. They are spontaneous, budget-conscious, and heavily influenced by social media. Their vacationing habits reflect their digital-first lifestyle, with a strong emphasis on unique experiences and sustainable travel. These 3 generations, each with their unique characteristics, have reshaped the way we vacation. Generation X introduced the idea of travel as an experience. Millennials took this a step further by leveraging technology to make travel more accessible and immersive. And now, Generation Z is on track to redefine travel yet again, with a strong focus on sustainable and authentic experiences. While their vacationing habits may differ, one thing remains constant: the desire to explore and experience new cultures, landscapes, and adventures. Now, let's delve deeper into the vacationing habits of these generations, starting with Generation X. Born between 1965 and 1980, Generation X, often known as the MTV generation, had a unique approach to vacationing. They were the adventurers, the explorers. For them, vacationing was not just about relaxation, but rather a quest to experience the new and unknown. They sought out the road less traveled, far away from the typical tourist traps. Their vacation destinations often included offbeat locations, immersing themselves in different cultures, and pursuing adrenaline-pumping activities. However, their adventures were not spontaneous. They were meticulously planned, with a keen eye on their budget. They valued experiences over luxury, often choosing affordable accommodation and local cuisine over 5-star hotels and fine dining. Yet, their planning methods were decidedly low-tech. Remember, this was the generation that grew up without the internet, so they relied heavily on travel agents, guidebooks, and word-of-mouth recommendations. They would spend hours, even days, researching and planning, ensuring they got the best bang for their buck. Despite their limited use of technology, Generation X was efficient in planning their vacations. They were the pioneers of adventure tourism, paving the way for future generations to explore the world beyond the confines of traditional vacationing. Next, we move on to a generation that revolutionized vacationing with their tech-savvy ways, the Millennials. Born between 1981 and 1996, Millennials, also known as Generation Y, brought a digital revolution to vacationing. This generation has a unique approach to travel that is heavily influenced by technology. With smartphones in their pockets and a world of information at their fingertips, millennials have changed the game when it comes to planning and booking vacations. Instead of relying on travel agents or glossy brochures, they turn to their devices to research destinations, compare prices, and read reviews. They value authenticity and are more likely to trust a fellow traveler's blog post or Instagram photo than a commercial advertisement. And when it comes to booking, convenience is key. Millennials prefer online booking platforms and mobile apps that allow them to secure everything from flights to accommodations to even local experiences, all from the comfort of their own homes or while on the go. But don't mistake their tech savviness for extravagance. Millennials are smart about their money. They prioritize experiences over luxury, often choosing unique local experiences over high-end hotels or fancy restaurants. They're known for their knack for finding the best deals, whether it's a discounted flight or a budget-friendly Airbnb. Their approach to budgeting is strategic, opting to save on some aspects of their trip to splurge on what matters most to them, whether it's a cooking class in Italy or a wildlife safari in Africa. Finally, let's explore the vacationing habits of the most technologically advanced generation, Generation Z. Born between 1997 and 2012, Generation Z, or the iGen, is redefining vacationing with their heavy reliance on social media. The familiar sight of a smartphone in hand is not just for texting or gaming for this generation, it's their travel companion, their window to the world. Generation Z has grown up with the world at their fingertips, and they use this to their advantage when planning their next adventure. They are more likely to scroll through Instagram, Pinterest, or TikTok for travel inspiration than flick through a travel magazine or brochure. They are the generation that values authenticity and sustainability. They're not just looking for the cheapest flights or the most luxurious hotels. They want to explore local cultures, eat at local restaurants, and leave as little environmental footprint as possible. They are budget conscious, but they're willing to spend on experiences that align with their values. Booking a trip is another area where their tech savviness shines. Instead of going to a travel agency, they are more likely to use travel apps and websites for booking flights, accommodations, and even local experiences. They prefer to have control over their trip planning and enjoy the convenience of having all their travel details in the palm of their hand. Generation Z's travel habits are heavily influenced by their use of social media and technology. They are the pioneers of digital travel, shaping the future of the industry with their unique preferences and habits. Now that we have explored the vacationing habits of these generations, let's summarize our discussion. Each generation has its unique vacationing style, influenced by their lifestyles, values, and technological advancements. Generation X, the seasoned adventurers, prefer traditional travel planning. Millennials, the tech-savvy globetrotters, lean towards convenience and digital solutions. Generation Z, influenced by social media, seek unique Instagram-worthy destinations. Despite different approaches, each generation shares a common thread: the love for exploration. This passion transcends generations, fueling the timeless desire to discover new places. No matter the generation, the spirit of exploration and adventure continues to drive our desire to travel and experience the world.